you guys, my name is Stella Williams and I am getting weight loss surgery. And before you make any assumptions about what that means or what you think that means about my self-image and self-worth, I really ask that you watch this video. If this hurts you, offends you, makes you hate me, I ask that you listen to this with an open mind. And after this video, if you're like, I can't fuck with Stella anymore, I love you. Thank you for supporting me all these years. Know that this is not about you. This is not about how you look. You are beautiful. You are everything. You are everything. I unfortunately just have shit going on with me and my body and my life, but it's kind of come to this. I love you, and if you are like, I can't do this, then I respect it, and I'm sad to see you go, but thank you for being here all these years. If you see me as more than my weight and you're here for me as a person and you're just intrigued and you're staying around, thank you for being open-minded, understanding that my body's my body and it's my choice of what I go through. That's all. Let's get into the video. Okay, you read the title right. I am getting weight loss surgery. No, it's not about aesthetics. Yes, it's about my health. Clearly, I've been really off my channel this year of just like health issues I have going on and diagnosis. I ended 2020 on a really bad note. I mean, like, who didn't? I ended the year with a PCOS diagnosis, and since then I've been really down. For years on my channel, all I've talked about wanting is children. It seems like the odds are very against me. Let's just take you back. In 2015, I had my first miscarriage on May 5th, 2015. That kind of like changed my whole life. It made me start YouTube. It kind of like propelled me to want better for myself. And I was at my highest weight of 375 at the time. I had lost a little bit of weight and started this channel you're watching now, believe it or not, as a weight loss channel. Realized I was way more than my weight, thank God. Early on, and develop my self-love over this channel. That's why a lot of people who've been here from the beginning really feel connected to me, because I didn't realize I was helping all these people love themselves as I was genuinely just trying to learn myself, but I was doing it in front of a camera, and so people were able to like see my growth over time, which was awesome. And then one day it hit me like, oh my gosh, I'm actually helping people, and it became like a really cool thing in my life, and this is now what I do full time. And then all hell broke loose December of 2019. I developed a blood clot from a birth control within 23 days of taking it, and it's all been downhill ever since then. For instance, before December of 2019, I was on 0 medications, and as of last weekend, I'm now on 5. Just got a new one, yay. But I do want to just stress that I love myself exactly the way I look aesthetically, and a major key component of the depression was who I'm going to be after this happens, after weight loss surgery happens, after I lose weight, because what's going on with me, the necessity to lose weight has really fucked with me, and I hate to use such a vulgar word, I'm sorry. I've been open of that journey on my vlog channel. I've been open on that journey here. I've been trying to open up more, but it's such a vulnerable place for me because I don't see myself ugly or fat or not worthy. I'm actually incredibly in love with myself, and the hardest thing I'm doing is trusting myself to do what's best for me, even though I love me exactly how I am right now. I just got some shit wrong with me, and it's reversible with weight loss. A lot of therapy sessions weekly, Friday 9 a.m. with Arthur. Shout out to my therapist if you're watching. Hopefully you are. A lot of therapy sessions have led me here, and this is where we are today. So I'll be updating you guys on just everything that's happening. People who haven't been following the vlog channel, people who haven't been following me, and just being very transparent, because I feel like it's better to be transparent about this than one day be like, oh guys, guess what I did, with no explanation. I don't owe you guys an explanation, but I want to give you an explanation because I genuinely care about my community, and I don't want anyone feeling blindsided. Let's go. We're gonna ease the pain because I'm talking about a lot of hard stuff today. Again, I don't want it to be like sad. And then let's get into the video. I say that because I'm trying to balance out the mood. I don't want this to be sad. It's my life. I'm trying to be happy and positive. In the last year, so since Christmas Eve 2021, I've been diagnosed with a blood clot. Had a blood clot for a moment. It went away. It was very small. It uncovered an autoimmune disorder that I have now. I have antiphospholipid antibody. I have antiphospholipid antibodies. I fortunately do not have this syndrome. This does put me on the spectrum of lupus, but at the complete bottom of the spectrum. It's like the starting point, and the way my doctor explained it, he said over years, if I do not stay anti-inflammatory, then I will, like, it could develop into lupus one day easily. He also said that doctors don't know why this comes up, this antibody, and he said they also don't know why it leaves, but for whatever reason one day it might leave, which for me gets me really excited because he told me that what did he say? Okay, so he said fat cells cause inflammation in the body. No, I used to say that they are inflammation. No, not true. It causes inflammation in the body. So because I have an autoimmune disorder that's like attacking it, and he's like, that's probably like weight plus the birth control is probably what just tipped you over the edge for us to uncover it. He's like, you've always had this disorder, but nothing ever triggered it for us to know. It just by chance we found out when you were young, but you could have found out when you were 60 or 80. So we also talked through, this is a really, really big possibility of why I had a miscarriage back in 2015, because these antibodies create a blood clotting disorder in my body. He literally told me you cannot afford to fall. So I have to live life very differently now. And it hit me like a brick wall. This last year I've just had to make a lot of adjustments to my life, being anti-inflammatory as possible. I had a lot of food allergies that came up. It was just a lot happening at once. That's the key of what's happening, this autoimmune disorder I have now. And then we'll move on to the next phase in a second. So the next phase, so I'm dealing with this antiphospholipid shit in the beginning of last year. Come back to LA after quarantining in Texas for a minute, meet with the hematologist. That's when he gave me the rundown I just told you. And then this is where like the weight loss conversations start. And at first I'm like, well, it's autoimmune. Like I've always had it. Like it has nothing to do with my weight. It has to do with my genes. I don't need to lose weight. So last summer, I took the approach of anti-inflammatory, but I wasn't really like dieting. I was just like living happy in my life. I was like, cool, like I'm anti-inflammatory, like they're saying weight loss, but it's hereditary, so whatever. August hits and I have a follow-up with my hematologist. So I meet with him regularly every 3 months unless something happens. Something was happening. So this was like end of August, early September. This is when I made the video that my first video that Obesity said reacted to. And this was right, I filmed it raw. I'm gonna post it here so you like know which video it is. It was raw right after a video conference with my doctor. And he was like, oh, okay, wait, there's more. This level he found is high. And he was like, if this is still high, like we're gonna need to put you on vitamin B3. And I called my mom, and my mom was very educated on this, and she was like, oh yeah, he's basically trying to prevent you having a heart attack. And I was like, so that's when I started spiraling. That's when I started crash dieting. That's when I started like doing not a lot of good things. I went vegan, but was eating a lot of sugar. It gets shittier. Just know this is my phase of life of, oh, we're going downhill. This is this phase of life. That phase of my life was like, oh shit. And so at this point, this is like summer to the end of August where I'm like meeting with the hematologist, and you know, I'm already like, okay, it's blood related, whatever. I'm on videos, I'm on vlogs going, it's blood related, y'all. Don't worry, whatever. And then I get that phone call, film the video. I spiral, start fad dieting, start doing all these things. And then I start therapy. So after that phone call, I spiraled for about 2 weeks, and I finally took care of myself and started therapy mid-September. Best thing, because it was bad. I was just so in denial that my life was just like crashing. Start therapy, and I swear I started therapy at the best time, because other areas of my life were crashing, and it was just an intense time. I decided to go vegan in November. And sorry, Birkin's eating dinner at midnight, but okay. So I go vegan in November, and I've been vegetarian before. I was vegetarian at one point in my life for 4 years, so I'm not too far off of what veganism is. And the only reason I went vegan is because I have a dairy allergy. It just made sense, whatever. Again, whole goal my doctors are telling me is anti-inflammatory, lose weight. All right, whatever. I had a lot of acai bowls every morning. So I was taking so much sugar. I didn't step on the scale that month. Again, I'm in the phase of life, like not really acknowledging what's happening. Stepped on the scale because something wasn't feeling right. I gained 20 pounds in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I spazzed. I was on the vlog. I was like, guys, I gained 30 pounds. I wasn't eating bad. When I was vegan, I was said pesca vegan, but people hate that term. They're like, that's not a thing. Because I would have fish sometimes. Mainly vegan, and I was like, guys, I'm freaking out, there's no way. And I was eating really clean, you know. I was after that call with my doctor, I was starting to take things serious. I was like, okay, I need to take my life seriously and, you know, put some care into my life a little bit. And after getting 20 pounds, everyone's like, you might have PCOS, go to your doctor. So I actually listened to the people for once, and I went to my gynecologist, booked the appointment. She was like, she didn't say I have PCOS, but she was like, your labs are equivalent to those of a patient with PCOS. Okay. And then she did blood work, and we did the blood work on live, uncovered the blood work, and I was diagnosed with PCOS. That changed me completely, because one of the key things that happens with people with PCOS is infertility. That's like the number one thing that can happen. This is where I get emotional, because I really, really, really want kids one day. And I've always been like, I'm gonna have a plus size pregnancy and I'm gonna carry a kid. Like, I just wanted to be that girl. I wanted to be the girl who had a healthy plus size pregnancy and everything was cool and I could be that pioneer. Having two things within a year brought onto me that are not helping the baby situation. A blood clotting disorder, it's like literally life-threatening for me to ever carry a child, and PCOS, infertility, it wasn't looking so good. This is where I kind of got dark. It got dark. Luckily it was around Christmas, so you know Christmas, you spend time with your family. I went up to Lake Tahoe, and I stayed there for about a month. And I really just got my life together. It was like, I was very lost. I was like, my work, my career is taking, this is a pivotal moment. My career was taking off, and my therapist, I'm like trying to tell him all these feelings I'm having. And I was like, but all I want's a kid. I was like, I can't even enjoy these good things that are happening in my career because all I want is a kid one day. And he was like, well, if you lost everything online, meaning like my relationships with you guys, meaning views, whatever, would the kid be worth it? And I said it without hesitation. I was like, yes, it would. That kind of stuck with me because it showed me, like, at the height of all the cool stuff going on in my career, it just showed me that I really, really still want this. And like, it's so easy to forget that when you're caught up in like hot girl summer or whatever, but when it could be taken away from you, and it has been taken away from you, it brings it all back to reality. And I replaced those feelings of losing a baby with my career. I told you guys, I literally started YouTube right after that. And this was just a wake-up call to be like, you're going too fast, slow down, remember. So then this brings us to January of 2021. I'm still on vacation and I'm just connecting with you guys on my live, and my mom does a reading for me. I asked my mom to do a reading for me maybe once a year. This was a health and relationship reading. And at the end of my reading, she got like bonus cards, as we like to call them. And she said that it's so funny because I had brought it when I got diagnosed with PCOS. My gynecologist said, hey, have you thought about lap band? And I was like, no, girl, like I will never get weight loss surgery, la la la. Like, I've always been that girl. Like, people I followed that got weight loss surgery, I was like, I'm out, whatever. And then I would come back because I'm like, girl, they're more than their size, whatever. And so when she was like, lap band, I was like, no. And I told my mom, because that was December. And then during that reading in January, I got a card that was like, don't give up on I know you don't want weight loss surgery, but this card's saying that I see it being very successful. Don't give it up so quickly. And ever since then, I've just been literally praying on it. And more so praying on it than not hearing no. And also starting to like give myself the opportunity to say yes to it. And that took therapy. So my therapist is actually someone who suggested that. He was like, let yourself say yes real quick. Because I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not doing it. And he's been with me since September. He knows about all my weights, ups and downs of last year, and the fad dieting and my dieting since 2015. Like, he knows all this. And he was like, well, let yourself just say yes real quick. And he's like, what do you feel? And I was just feeling like a lot of angst, a lot of like a lot more emotionally. And he was like, what do you want? And so this is where I started like separating like my career from me. And I tell him what I want. And that's when we had the conversation. That's in like a continuation. Like the whole basis of us is like, I want kids, but I want to be healthy enough for them. That's why I'm here with you today. Hi. And it just went back to the conversation of like, what do you want more than anything in kids? All right, what's stopping you? This, and this. What are you going to do to fix it? And I was like, damn, like it really is that easy. But obviously my career is a very big, you guys are the biggest part of my life. Like right now I live for this shit. Like I love making videos. It's such a conflict of interest, I feel. And then, you know what? I kind of been dipping my feet in the water recently on YouTube, and I like my vlog channel. I let them know I'm getting surgery. I let them know straight up. Okay, so I posted a video yesterday, and then people were like, oh, you're loving your body, but you're about to get weight loss surgery. Isn't that like a contradictory thing? Aren't you just a traitor now? I'm like, no. At first I felt like that for months. Since January, I felt like that. I'm like, I would be the biggest traitor. And I couldn't understand. Like, I've been working with my therapist about like me and trusting myself. And he was like, what would you tell the little girl? Like, we've been doing those kind of exercises. Like, what would you tell the little girl inside of you? He's like, well, what if I told you the little girl doesn't exist? Like, we've been getting really deep. And I think that's a lot of my depression because I'm like working through some stuff. If you've never been in therapy, like, don't go until you're ready. That shit is hard. I'm kind of like in the mindset now of like anything is possible. Literally, to like wrap up part of the story. So that call from September, I got a call last weekend saying, yeah, your levels are high. I saw my hematologist 2 weeks ago. He's like, your levels are high. You need to go on this vitamin. So now I'm on a vitamin for my heart, essentially, which is intensely scary. But that's all of that shit I'm going to give you. So let's move on. Surgery. I'm getting surgery June 1st. I'm incredibly nervous, but I've come into peace with it. I had this moment where I've never had this kind of moment before. I was on my knees praying. I'm like, God, what do I do? I literally felt like Jesus' hand do this. I've never felt like the presence of Jesus. Always like angels or good energy. Never Jesus. It was crazy. And it felt like this on my back. And I was like, all right, this is what we're doing. And I feel really at peace with it and really good about it. And I'm just asking for support. Like, if you really have hate, I'd rather, if you like don't like this or hating it or you can't vibe, please just unsubscribe before giving your opinion, because I'm in a good place right now and I'm being vulnerable and sharing this part of my life with you. And I hope that you can respect that I don't need to do this, but I want to because I care about the community we've built. And so the comments I was getting was like, oh, but you're getting weight loss surgery. You don't love yourself. It's like, I love myself so much. I'm doing this. And then someone's like, oh, you're taking the easy way out. I'm like, this is not easy. You guys have literally watched me struggle since I got my first diagnosis in 2019. So it's just what I feel is right for me and my tool. And it's still hard work, and it's still going to be, it's mentally taxing for me right now more than anything. Like, I can do the pre-op diet, I can do whatever. But the thought of me changing, like, what I discovered in therapy is that I have this like self-sabotage thing. Like, I'll lose weight, and then when I realize I'm losing weight and I'm looking different, I'll like ruin it. So having a tool like weight loss surgery where you cannot physically eat more, I feel like it's something that's going to be really good for me, because I won't have opportunity to self-sabotage my progress because I physically can't. And I feel like I've been, just being transparent, worried about my channel. I'm like, well, what's going to happen? But I've realized that I've been moving away since October of just like plus size content. And I always want to stay true to my original core audience. And I also feel like I gained a whole new audience that's not plus size since October. So it's really I'm optimistic about it. And again, if I just really want people here who are supporting it. I don't want to become like the weight loss channel. I probably won't do major updates I probably won't do any more updates until like surgery, and then probably no more after that. Everything else will probably just be on the vlog channel, because I'm still Stella Williams. Like, let's not get it twisted. I'm still me. And I want this channel to just celebrate and reflect that. And it doesn't need to be this channel. I don't need to be a weight loss channel. So I'm just trying to keep it light, keep it positive. I would really, really love your prayers, really, really love your good energy. Again, I do have a blood clotting disorder, so this is a potentially life-threatening thing. And I just want you to know, I just want this to be my last words if I die. I'm going into this with full peace of heart. This is what I'm supposed to do for the betterment of me. I really feel like this is going to be part of my solution of reversing all of my diagnoses that I've gotten in the last year. I have a feeling that this will continue my progress to not have to take any more medications in the near future. And I'm proclaiming that this is going to be an opportunity and a door for me to have children one day in a healthy manner. Those are my proclamations. Those are my affirmations. And I do believe those with my whole heart. Let's lighten it up.